Mestyat Betna.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. And today I'm excited to welcome the president of the Edelstam Foundation, Caroline. Caroline, thank you for being here. My first question to you will be today, how did the Eritrean government react after Dawit Isaak received the Edelstam Prize?
Thank you very much, Zacharias, and thank you so much for the invitation to be here today with you. Actually, I would say that the Eritrean government has not publicly acknowledged or responded to the Edelstam Prize awarded to Dawit Isaak in November last year. Given the regime's long-standing policy of silence regarding his detention, I think it's unlikely that any official statement will be issued. In my opinion, I believe that they must be very disturbed by the great international media attention on his case, hundreds and hundreds of articles highlighting the ongoing human rights violations Mr. Dawit Isaak is exposed to, together with his detained colleagues. The punishment is perpetual unlawful detention, never charged with a crime, defenseless and deprived of his basic rights without a trial, his de facto status of civil death is untenable and unlawful, and it must be very uncomfortable to the Eritrean regime, I imagine. But their policy remains the same, to always stay silent.
I heard there was a discussion in the Swedish Parliament yesterday. So what was discussed? What was all about?
It was a seminar about how the Eritrean regime operates to persecute its own citizens in Sweden and also in other countries. It was a seminar about a cruel dictatorship and the repressive methods that President Isaias Afwerki uses to control and silence dissidents, even beyond Eritrea's borders. Eritrean citizens in Sweden, members of the diaspora, are being persecuted by their regime's agents. They are being monitored, threatened, and intimidated. And the seminar was hosted by Sweden's former Minister of Justice, Mr. Morgan Johansson, who is today a member of the parliament, and he's also the foreign policy spokesperson for the Social Democratic Party here in Sweden. Mr. Dawit Isaak's daughters and also his brother gave testimonies about how the regime continues to harass and violate the rights of Eritrean citizens abroad, including their own family. And it was very good to see because the audience was made up by Eritrean members of the diaspora, Swedish parliamentarians, politicians, human rights defenders, government officials, and old friends of Dawit Isaak. And we also discussed how Sweden must act decisively and seize all support for initiatives that serve to legitimize or promote the agenda of a dictatorship. Sweden is a democratic state, and it should not provide any platforms, whether through festivals, churches, or youth movements, that enable representatives or supporters of the authoritarian regime to spread their influence. And given Mr. Dawit Isaak's prolonged disappearance and the total lack of contact for over 2 decades, we also emphasized in the discussion the urgent need for Eritrea to present a proof of life. It's a basic humanitarian obligation that must be fulfilled without delay.
Do you think there is still hope for his release? And do you believe he's alive?
Yes. Our immediate focus is to obtain a proof of life, and this is extremely urgent. We, of course, live with the hope and continue to hold hope for his release. While the situation remains dire, there is still reason to believe that Mr. Dawit Isaak is alive. International pressure is growing, with the United Nations and several leading human rights organizations continuing to advocate for his freedom. And we must hold on to that hope and demand that Eritrea provides proof of life now. We will not give up, nor will the international community. We will continue to advocate for his release. It is critical to find ways to enforce both national and international law and to demand accountability. No one should stand above the law. And enforced disappearances are criminal acts, regardless of war, emergency, or national security. And democratic nations has an obligation and responsibility to stand up and put pressure on those perpetrators.
Okay. What are the next steps of the Edelstam Foundation, advocating for Dawit Isaak?
The Edelstam Foundation, we will continue to put pressure on the Eritrean regime and continue to advocate for Mr. Dawit Isaak's release and to keep his case in the international spotlight. We will continue to alert the international media, especially all over Africa, where we have noticed a persistent interest in the case of Mr. Isaak. Eritrea systematically curtails a wide range of fundamental human rights, including freedom of expression, association, assembly, and information, which is handled with censorship, arbitrary arrest, detentions without trials, and systematic and pervasive torture. Mass roundups and arbitrary arrests, as well as the detention of human rights defenders and journalists without trials, are unexceptional. And we will have a concrete activity next week. It's a public demonstration in London, in the United Kingdom, on the 2nd of May, on the eve of World Press Freedom Day. Together with the Raoul Wallenberg Center for Human Rights and other NGOs, we are supporting an initiative by Human Rights Solidarity, which will take place outside the Guardian's headquarters in London. And this demonstration will highlight one of the gravest ongoing injustices against press freedom, the 24-year-long imprisonment of Mr. Dawit Isaak, held without charge, trial, or access to legal counsel. We will present a 5-meter-long banner displaying the names and faces of 11 journalists who are currently imprisoned around the world, with Mr. Dawit Isaak at its heart. It's a call for international action and solidarity. This demonstration is part of several initiatives we're involved in to increase pressure on the Eritrean regime and remind the world that Mr. Dawit Isaak must not be forgotten. We've seen several high-level initiatives around the world, in Switzerland, in Canada, in the US, that have been coordinated since the Edelstam Foundation awarded Mr. Isaak the Edelstam Prize in November.
How has the international community responded to Dawit Isaak's case? And is enough being done? Do you think?
No, not enough as he's still arbitrarily detained. The international community has a duty to act in prevention of genocide and other egregious abuses when domestic authorities collapse or fail to respect and ensure the fundamental rights. And the Edelstam Foundation calls on the international community to act, since the Eritrean and the Swedish governments are failing to protect their own citizens, Mr. Dawit Isaak, in a humanitarian, security and human rights perspective, and they are not fulfilling their obligations under international law.
What message does the foundation want to send to other journalists, imprisoned journalists, through Dawit Isaak's recognition?
hope and solidarity. I think that through the recognition of Dawit Isaak, the Edelstam Foundation aims to send a very strong message of solidarity, love, and hope to other imprisoned journalists worldwide. It underscores the importance of press freedom and the commitment to defending the rights of those who risk their lives to inform the public. It takes a lot of courage. Rule of law and press freedom are strong pillars in the concept of democracy. Many initiatives, NGOs, politicians, individuals, and many other stakeholders have been working relentlessly for many years for Mr. Dawit Isaak's release. And we now see a renewed interest and dedication in his case, and it has been vitalized with the Edelstam Prize being awarded to him. And it's really wonderful to see all the global solidarity from the international community and all the global media attention on Mr. Dawit Isaak's case. And I hope this will continue until he is actually released from prison.
I thank you for being here, the president of the Edelstam Foundation, Caroline. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Mestyat Betna. Mestyat Betna ንሓቀኛ ምስሊ ኤርትራ ንምንጽብራቕ ዝተፈላለዩ ጽሑፋት ተንቀሳቓሲ ምስልታትን ቃለ መሕትታትን ሒዛ ብዘካርያስ ገብረአብ እናተዳለወት እትቐርብ መደብ እያ። كفوت لساني من يزعصوني عيسجدن علي عبطاقوت ملاخي قطاوخي قنا مسلي فتحي